Okay, let me make sure I'm recording. I think I am. Can you all see the slides that I put up, the health chat slides? Okay. And if you think you're going to have background noise, feel free to mute. And you can always unmute with questions and stuff as we go or at the end. But you should find a mute button somewhere. If you're on a phone, it's towards, I know if you're on a computer, it's bottom left. And if you're on a phone, it should be in that same area as well. So we will get started. So I'm Rebecca Colby. I'm happy for everybody to be here tonight. And it is October. Maybe you're listening on a recording, so maybe it's not October when you're listening, but right now it is. And as you might be aware, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Women's Health Month. And so I thought it was just fitting to be sharing with you on women's health tonight. It's a topic that I talk with women and families and people about a lot. And we have some beautiful slides from Shaklee Corporation that illustrate a lot of what I wanted to say tonight. So I like to do that. I'm working with two monitors here, which is why I kind of look away as we go. But I'm going to flip to the next screen. And like I said, we're going to be on women's health. And I'm going to be talking tonight, we're going to be incorporating some things. We're going to be talking about nutrition and supplements and fitness and, overall women's health. But from the supplement piece, I always like to share Shaklee. That's the company that I'm partnered with, that some of you might be partnered with. And I want to share a little bit about my story with that so you understand why I'm really passionate about doing that. Shaklee Corporation, if you're not familiar, has been around for a very long time. And you can see on this slide here that we have 100 years of innovation. Dr. Shaklee was the scientist that started the company, and he was actually one of the first scientists in America to make the first multiple vitamin in 1915. He was way ahead of his time. He was an innovator, and he, in 1960, made the first biodegradable cleaning product, which is our Basic H, you might be familiar with. And he isolated the soybean for human consumption, meaning that we can have protein from soy, which is actually a really great plant-based source. It's the most complete plant-based source. I know soy gets a bad reputation on the internet, and if you're interested in more detail on that, I'm happy. I have lots of resources and information to share with you supporting that. But it's just been this whole timeline from all the way back to 1915 really separates what we're going to talk about tonight out from the other companies that make products that might be similar. And the reason why I am so passionate about this is because I grew up with these products. My mom is on tonight, and she found with my dad Shaklee in the mid 1970s before I was born. And my mom was having a lot of health struggles. And so her friend, like maybe some of you, introduced her to Shaklee, and she started to use the products. And that ended up helping to rebuild her health so much that she did not need major surgery, a hysterectomy that her doctor recommended. And instead, she ended up having a surprise pregnancy, and that was with me. So I grew up with Shaklee products, with the vitamins, with the green cleaning products, which, we didn't call them green cleaners back then. That wasn't a thing, but it is now, and it's always been with this company. And so now, when I became a mom in 2008, I was really looking for a way to be home with my children. Before that, I had a successful private practice of music therapy, which I loved, but it took me out of the house. And with Shaklee, I found that I can continue to help people in the wellness arena, but also be home with my kids. And it's really rewarding to inspire other people, to empower them with knowledge and information about health and wellness and nutrition, and helping families to get healthier. And it's also really helped my family as well. I'm not going to go into all the details. I could talk for a long time about my story and all the different ways the products have helped, my premature son, who was predicted to have asthma, and now he's a healthy 7-year-old, no asthma. Me, when I had him prematurely, I was a hormonal mess, and how that's when I really started to take the supplements and the protein, lost weight, got everything turned around with my health in a positive way. So I really feel like I have a charge to help other people and help people that might be suffering in different ways with their health, like I was, and some of my family was as well. So this, what you see here, is unique. You're not going to find another company that has that. We are the leading natural nutrition company in the United States, and the company as a corporation has been around since the 1950s. So it's really has a long history of all of that. It started with our founder, Dr. Shaklee. This is a young picture of him. And he believed that everything should be in harmony with nature as God intended. So the products that we're going to talk about with women's health tonight all fall into this philosophy. Shaklee was started on the Golden Rule, and basically, that's how we operate today. So Dr. Roger Barnett is our CEO, and he bought the company in 2004, and basically he wanted a company that had everything that we have that Dr. Shaklee started, and he took this original philosophy of Dr. Shaklee and moved it forward to the current time, and that's how we operate today. That's how we've been, and that's how we'll continue to be. And it's just a really wonderful place to be. Okay, so beyond purity and safety, beyond organic, I get a lot of questions about if our products are organic, and we go, as you can see here, beyond that. We go, really beyond where the product is grown, the ingredients are grown for the product. We confirm the purity and potency of the ingredients from creation of the product to delivery to customer. And we do this by conducting over 100,000 quality tests per year, screening for way more contaminants than is required. And that is what really impressed my husband. And this slide also impressed my husband. I'll tell you a little bit about David. He's a professor at Ole Miss. He was a pharmacist, a chemist, and he specializes in dietary supplements and natural product research. So when David started to look into the science and the history of Shaklee and the integrity, he was literally blown away by that, which said a lot to me, a non-scientist, kind of a layman, in this area. And he was just really impressed that any company had third-party standards, pharmaceutical standards, third-party testing, pharmaceutical standards, and just the integrity of everything, every ingredient was really impressive to him. And then this is what he does for a living. He publishes papers in peer-reviewed journals, and he has patents, and it's not easy to do that. And the fact that Shaklee goes above and beyond and has over 120 published papers and presentations, more than 70 patents and patents pending, really, really impressed him because it's not required, and supplement companies aren't regulated, so this is something that really goes above. This is a study that illustrates that. This was done at UC Berkeley in 2007, and the part 2 of this study is coming out very soon, which is exciting to us. And basically what they did was they wanted to know, do supplements work? Do brands matter? And they partnered with Shaklee on this and looked at long-term users of Shaklee supplements versus people who took no supplements at all, versus people who took XYZ multiple vitamin from wherever. And across the board, as you can see here, the Shaklee group was healthier with the American Heart Association biomarkers for heart health, and diabetes and cancers and prescription medication, all of that. We were a healthier group. The average age of the Shaklee folks was 63, whereas the average age of the other groups were about 40 something. So you would think that they would be healthier, but it showed that the Shaklee folks really were. So that was really telling. So not just people like me are using Shaklee, but world-class athletes. We have a really wonderful sports fitness line that we're really proud of, and many athletes are using Shaklee products and trusting them. And NASA has been using Shaklee for many, many years. Everything that we're going to talk about tonight has a 100% money-back guarantee on it. Okay, getting to the health chat part on women's health. And again, if you have questions as we go, feel free to ask me. That's fine. But I'm just going to go through these kind of quickly. But basically, we have different stages of a woman's life has different nutritional needs, and we're going to kind of highlight young adults, women on the go, menopause, and healthy aging. So young adults is basically, teens to late 20s. This is really the time to really be establishing that foundation for a healthy life. And, you can do that by eating a well-balanced diet, fruits, vegetables, protein, so important for that foundation. Calcium. I know a lot of women in their 20s who think that calcium's for, the older generation that might be breaking bones, breaking hips and things. But we really want to focus on that because right now you're maintaining and still building what you have in the bone area, which is really important. Hydration, avoiding the sugary drinks, sodas, and things like that, really going for the water, and regular physical activity is very important, building in those healthy habits. So women on the go is late 20s to about 40. This balance is, it has a balance of exercise, good nutrition. These are really critical, I think, for all stages of life. And women in this age group tend to be more active. And also, this is the time where people might be thinking about having a family. So, if you're thinking about that, a prenatal vitamin is really, really important. And I do have a really great one I'm going to share soon. Folic acid, really important, especially before pregnancy. So if you're planning a pregnancy, that would be something to take in advance. Really essential, good multiple vitamins, healthy weight, really important, maintaining that, weight-bearing exercises, weights and things like that. Of course, avoiding smoking, limited use of alcohol, really important for overall health. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of these as we go. Okay, well, just kind of skim over the next, couple. We have menopause. Hormonal changes occur as early as 40 and through about 55 years old. And again, daily servings, the good foods, the good fruits and vegetables, but also they put on this slide the daily servings of soy protein may help to reduce the frequency and severity of hot flashes for women who are experiencing that. Increasing calcium and vitamin D is important in this stage of life. Managing stress and sleep, maintaining a healthy weight, and again, those weight-bearing exercises, really important. Okay, and then healthy aging, 55 and beyond, really optimizing a woman's health during and after menopause, maintaining annual exams for bone density and heart health, really important. Omega-3 fatty acids are great for heart health, also good for brain health. Increasing calcium, vitamin D, managing stress, and maintaining a healthy weight and those weight-bearing exercises again. So women of all ages, I stress this a lot with families and people that I talk to. Healthy diet, really important. And we can always work on changing habits. And I'm going to talk about a cleanse that our team is leading here really soon, which really helped me after I went through the training and did the cleanse to help me change my mindset around, healthy eating and proportions of good, wholesome foods. And boy, my energy levels really went up when I made a few tweaks. I try to eat healthy, but we always can improve that. So eating a variety of foods, including, at least 7 servings of fruits and vegetables, colorful. Color's important to kind of vary it. Juice does not count. Sorry. Getting plenty of whole grains, beans, legumes, really good protein there. Lean meats, fish, poultry, non-fat or low-fat dairy, and soy foods. And you want to look for the non-GMO there. Select healthy fats, eating more omega-3 fatty acids and monosaturated fats like olive oil, nuts, seeds, avocado, one of my personal favorites. And then avoiding all trans fats, saturated fats, things like that. And I love this. If you're familiar with My Plate, you can look that up and it kind of gives you some ideas. And it's great for kids. If you work with kids or if you have young kids in your life, just to kind of show them the different areas that we should be kind of focusing on. I love this slide. I show this a lot because a lot of people, most people I would say, most Americans at least, are not getting what we need from food alone. Even if we're eating a lot of organic foods, even if we're trying our best, like a lot of us do, very hard. Fruits and vegetables are often picked before they're ripe, so the nutritional value is not always there. Even if it says organic, it may or may not be. There's a lot of, stuff in our food, additives, extra things, artificial things you want to maybe avoid. And so to fill in those gaps with the nutritional, area, if we are not actually doing everything that we really, need to be doing on a day-to-day basis, which I know I can't. It's very hard to do that. This gives me that nutritional insurance. This is called Vitalizer, and we have some specials and information I want to share at the end with this. I love, love, love this. I take this every day, and this has really helped me in my early 40s have more energy now than I did in my 20s. And then I wasn't taking Shaklee. There was a period, I didn't talk about that. There's about 10 years where I stopped taking Shaklee in between college and having kids. And I got sick during that time. I had a lot of health challenges. And when I started taking this after my son was born prematurely, it was kind of an aha awakening to my body and my hormones and everything, my energy levels, my stress levels, my immune health. And you would have to eat everything pictured here organically to get what you get in this strip here. This is called Vitalizer, and I have a couple more slides that are going to illustrate this. This is tailored for women of all ages. We have Vitalizer Gold for over 50 and a Vitalizer Women, which also is a fantastic prenatal. And then we also have a Vitalizer for men. So this basically has so much benefit. You're getting, and I'm going to actually jump here. to the next slide, because I like this one. It really illustrates something that's unique to Shaklee. We use our smart delivery system here, which is patented by Shaklee. And basically what this is a special coating on every single vitamin in that pack to get where it needs to be in the body before it breaks down for optimal benefit. And so in this pack, you have your multiple vitamin, which we call Vital E. It has a folic acid coating on it. And as you can see here, dissolves in less than 30 minutes. You want your vitamins to dissolve in less than 30 minutes. So if you're taking a vitamin, you can drop it in a glass of water, maybe put a little vinegar to mimic stomach acid, and it should be dissolving again within 30 minutes. If it's not, then it's most likely just passing through your body and not giving you what you expect or need from that vitamin. So ours does break down the B and C. The B is for energy, mood, stress, and C is immune function, and it has other roles as well, but this is sustained release, and it gives you, like you can see here, up to 198 greater % absorption of the B vitamins over 12 hours. That was clinically shown. And it releases in the small intestine. So that's unique to ours. And then we have this one, this purplish one that I call the CEO. You get your carotenoids, your E, and your omegas. This is really important because the omega-3 fatty acids are really important for heart health, for brain health, for attention and focus, different things like that. E for circulation, and carotenoids are basically like your fruits and vegetables, your antioxidants. So this is a really powerful, good supplement. And then our probiotic. I love to highlight this one. It's got a special coating on it that it gets through the stomach acid, through the digestive process, all the way down to the gut before it breaks down. And there's a lot of talk in the media about the importance of a probiotic and even just eating yogurt and things like that. But you have to know that a lot of the flora, the good flora that might be in those products, probably breaks down in the stomach as it gets digested. But what we really want is something that's going to reach the gut. This helped you can buy this separately, and this helped my son get over chronic constipation. It was really bad, and that's one thing that we had done. It helps with many things, also immune health, because a lot of our immune system's in the gut. So there's a lot of goods for a good probiotic. Of course, digestive health. So we are going to, hey, Brittany, welcome. If you want to mute, there you go. Thank you. Perfect. So we're going to move on. And I talk to people a lot about this, and skipping breakfast or skipping any meals, especially people that are trying to lose weight. They think, well, I'm going to skip a meal, but actually our body starts to store the fat. It's not a great healthy way to lose weight. So don't skip breakfast. I like to think about it as the fuel. If you're taking a long road trip, you got to put that good fuel in your car before you take off, right? So it's like we want to start our day with a healthy, protein-rich, breakfast that's going to help fuel us. The protein really helps to fuel us. The carbs might give us a spike and then make us crash, or anything sugary, spike, crash, right? So we want to make sure that we're getting that protein-rich fuel for breakfast. It says, I didn't make these slides, but no, coffee doesn't count as breakfast. But I'm going to talk next about an excellent choice. And if you all were sitting in my living room, I would pass out samples of this because I just love sharing the Life Shake. This is a wonderful option for a complete breakfast. And if you are like me, I'm a busy mom on the go, and it's very hard for me to sit down and have a healthy meal. And I'll be really honest, breakfast is not my favorite meal of the day. It's my husband's, but not mine. So I love having a quick, sweeter option for my sweet tooth. It doesn't have to be. You can make these shakes more savory, but I love this. And what I love about it is it gives me energy. It's got good protein, the non-GMO, the proprietary blend. It's really good. Helps with weight, either maintaining a healthy weight, or if you're looking to lose a few pounds or more, it helps with that. This is the program that helped me to lose the baby weight when I had my second child 7 years ago. And it also helps with other things like immune support, healthy digestion. It has the probiotics, also a different strain of them in this for healthy digestion. It also has some omegas in it from fiber and flax to help with that as well, with brain, heart, attention, things like that. And what it has in it is something called leucine, which is clinically shown to burn fat but retain muscle mass. So I love it. I make a shake. I'll throw spinach and kale, and I love to throw mango and pineapple and a little bit of banana in. I don't go crazy with the fruit because there is a lot of sugar in fruit, good sugar, but you still have to do it in proportion, right, with what you're doing. And then I use the vanilla protein mix and some of the plain and simple protein mix. It's delicious. I make a huge shake in the morning, which I drink, and then I give a few ounces to my kids with their breakfast, and my husband takes a few more ounces with his breakfast, and off we go. And I feel good as a mom giving my kids, some greens in the morning, some fruit, some good protein, and it's just a really good way to start. And as you can see here, there's nothing artificial in it. A lot of protein shakes throw a lot of artificial stuff in there. Non-GMO protein, gluten-free, lactose-free, low glycemic, meaning that it won't spike your blood sugar, and it's certified kosher as well. So it's just a really, really great option. It comes in a few different flavors and really great. And we have a special that I'm going to share at the end with you guys on that too. Okay, so women of all ages, exercise, so important. There's so many benefits. We know that, right? Reduces the risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, some cancers, helps to maintain a healthy weight. And if you're feeling low mood, and we're heading into the darker days now, sun's moving away from us, heading into winter, a lot of people I talk to do experience those winter blues. And so, if you have any kind of issues with that, depression, anxiety, of course, always good to talk to a professional about that. But sometimes just getting out and exercising, getting some vitamin D, either from the sun or, a supplement. Shaklee has a very good vitamin D supplement that's very inexpensive, can really help to boost those levels and make a whole world of difference. This also, exercise helps to build healthy bones, which is really important. Muscles, joints, flexibility, balance. You can, choose to do maybe 30, 45 minutes a day of activity, aerobic activity, walking. I have 2 dogs, so I'm always walking them. They remind me if we're getting past time to go for the walk. And 3 days a week of strength training, which is really great for your bones as we age. And speaking of that, this next slide talks about that. So weight-bearing exercises really help to grow the bones stronger. Most people between the ages of 25 and 30, that's when they're reaching their maximum density of bone, but you want to maintain what you got, okay? So there's a picture here of normal bone and then bone with osteoporosis. So it's more, more open, more porous. And a lot of times people come to me because their doctor has said they have osteopenia, which is heading towards osteoporosis. That can be reversed, and we can kind of maintain what we got and kind of build that. So it's good to be preventative there. Exercise and a balanced diet really helps to support that. And taking a combination of nutrients that work together, specifically calcium, of course, magnesium, often you see those together, and phosphorus, vitamin D, and protein, really important. And then you can see here other key vitamins are A, C, E, and B. Vitamin K is really important, and minerals like zinc, copper, manganese, boron. I think it says that on this slide. Why the D? I thought I had it on the slide. So I want to talk a little bit about some options for that. If you're concerned about bone health or just want a supplement, which I do encourage that. We don't do a lot of dairy in our family because it causes GI issues and my skin to break out, and dairy can be really inflammatory. And my son having early lung issues, being premature, he's sensitive to that. So this is an option, and we also have a chewable option, which I don't have a slide on, but my kids take the chewables. I also like those because they can be like a natural Tums if you have any kind of acid reflux, which I occasionally get at night. And the Osteomatrix is great, just a swallowable calcium, magnesium, vitamin D supplement together. So you can see this, helping to build bone density when you're young, really can help minimize bone loss as you age. So this has 1,000 milligrams of calcium, 600 IUs of vitamin D3. There it goes. That's what I wanted to say, which is clinically supported to promote the absorption of calcium in your body. That's why you want to see if you're taking calcium, you want to have it with the vitamin D3. It's really important. The magnesium helps to incorporate the calcium into the bone, so they all work together. And then vitamin K to support the bone formation. And then these other, minerals are really important for bone mass as well. And that's what you're getting in the Osteomatrix. Really, really good supplement. So there was a study that, looked at people that took a good or even just, it wasn't just a good, it was a multiple vitamin versus people that took a multi plus the calcium. And what they found, and they looked at people that didn't supplement at all as well. And what they found was that the multi plus the calcium built the most bone. So that's a really good combination. And you can see here, we have that strip that I was talking about and that actually came out of the landmark study that I mentioned earlier. I forgot to share that. But when they did that study and looked at long-term users of Shaklee folks, they thought, okay, what are these people taking? Because it's working for them. Okay, they're taking a multi, they're taking B, they're taking C, they're taking omegas, they're taking this, they're taking that. Let's put it together in a convenient strip for people so they can travel with it, have it in your purse, just have it so it's really easy. You don't have to carry a million bottles around with you. And they developed this, and it's fantastic. So coupling that with a good calcium, you're really, maximizing your ability to build the bone. Okay, stress. Anybody got stress? I think we all have stress, right? Especially as women, we tend to take on a lot on our plate, and somebody asks you, you're doing a million things one day, and they're like, can you squeeze this in? And you look in your calendar, you happen to have that little bit of time for lunch. Sure, I can squeeze it in, right? We do that, or at least I do. And sometimes I just have to learn how to say no, so I'm not overly stressed. But, managing stress is really, really important because, when we're not managing stress, it bleeds into so many areas of our lives that you can see there. Digestive issues, compromised immune function, sleep issues, weight gain, hypertension, heart disease. I'm a stress eater, so I have to be really careful not to have anything like that in my house because if I'm stressed out, that's what I go for. So that leads to weight gain and a whole slew of other issues, right? So we have to be careful and kind of know what our triggers are. So stress can elevate your body's levels of cortisol, which, when you're continually having those high levels, it can have long-term impacts on our bodies. So ways that we can manage, first of all, identifying stressors in your life and try to eliminate those or reduce those if you can. Schedule the personal relaxation time. I do spa nights with our new youth skincare line, which is really, really fun. And we go around and we kind of talk about ways that we de-stress. And there's so many ways, from reading books to exercising to taking a bath to sleeping to, yoga to, having time out with friends or husband or whoever it is. There's so many different ways that people do that. And so that's really personal to us, but really the important thing is building that time in to, scheduling it. Like we would schedule an appointment with our dentist or whoever, although don't do it every 6 months. Do it, schedule time for yourself, at least weekly. And then good nutrition, really important. Exercising regularly, sleeping more, getting 7 to 8 hours is really important. I know I feel totally different when I'm doing that versus less hours of sleep. And, botanical support, which we're going to talk about next. So the herbs that they talked about in the last slide, the ashwagandha, L-theanine, that is in something that is like my best friend. I love, love, love this supplement. It's called Stress Relief Complex. Some women take it every day. Some women take it as needed. I'm a as needed girl, although lately I've had more on my plate, so I've been finding myself taking it more regularly. But it really helps. It blunts the stress response in the body, and it does not make you tired. I get that question a lot. Does it make you sleepy? It doesn't. And it works really fast. So this is a really great one for natural stress relief. You can take it every day. It's totally safe for that. When my son was born at 34 weeks gestation and he was on a ventilator for the first 7 days of his life, couldn't hold him, I was stressed out. And that's when I finally turned to Shaklee and the supplements. My husband was already taking them. And I called up my mentor, Joyce Hoffman, who's been with Shaklee since 1969. She's a registered nurse, and she knows a lot about baby's health and children's health. So I was calling about my son, and she asked me, how are you doing? And I lost it. I was an emotional basket case, and I was just a mess. And she said, maybe it's time that you looked at Shaklee nutrition for yourself. So that's when I started taking the Vitalizer and the protein and this and B complex, which also really helped me with, I needed that for extra stress at that time in my life, and it's wonderful. So stress relief complex really, really helps when your body is under a lot of stress, and it's wonderful. Okay, so there's different solutions at different stages of life. I don't know if you all have the Health Print link. If you do not, I can send it to you, or the person that invited you tonight can send it to you. But basically, it's a personalized health assessment. It's free to take. It takes about 5 minutes and 20 questions. And on there, they have different, goal areas and different product areas and different things that you can choose, to do with the products or not. But it's just a good point of information. So there's different ways that you can just really personalize your health goals with that. And this just talks about what I just said with the health assessment. Now, I wanted to share, I added a few extra slides in tonight because we're winding up here, but I wanted to share a few things that are, current right now for you guys who are live with me. And I am recording this, but If you're live with me, we have a healthy cleanse, and we're actually starting on Wednesday. So there's still time to jump on and join us, even if you join a little bit late, because you will need some products. These are the products that we use for the healthy cleanse. And I've done the training. This was done by a nutritionist in Shaklee called, her name is Nidra Sar, and it has good science that backs it for weight management. And what I found personally after I did the training, I did the cleanse. I've done it twice. She recommends doing it once a year or, longer time in between. That you don't have to do it every month or anything like that. And basically, I gained a lot of energy. And I did lose a few pounds. I'm at a pretty good weight myself right now, so I don't need to lose a ton, but I did lose a few pounds and some inches. And what I really loved about this was, like I mentioned earlier, I tend to be a sugar girl, especially when I'm stressed out. So this really helped to curb my cravings around sugar and really helped to change my mindset around food, and even, dig deeper into healthier eating. And just the educational piece was really wonderful. We have a group on Facebook, and I'm leading that, and we send a lot of videos and support, and I check in with people. I'm there to support you. Our team is there to support, so you get a lot of support and resources with this. So if you're interested in more about this, we can send you the details, but we have that starting. And basically in the first week of that, it's a 5-week cleanse that takes us right up to Thanksgiving. Basically, the first week is really cleansing out the liver, cleansing out the toxins, which again, we should be doing that about at least once a year. The probiotic, we have our liver detox, our alfalfa, which is a natural antihistamine, but also a detox supplement, and the Herblex, which is a gentle senna. That's part of week 1. And then my mouse is not behaving to move my slides. Let me see. There we go. Get it over there. We have something that you would couple that with. This is just one option. There's actually a few options, but you would do protein shakes and healthy eating in weeks 2 through 5. We also eliminate gluten and dairy for the first couple weeks just to get that out, and then slowly reintroduce that. But along with that, you could do the cleanse pack plus this is one of the options. And tonight we actually have a special on this I'm excited to share. Now, Shaklee, as you know, as I mentioned earlier, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we also had so many natural disasters in our country, which is just, I'm just keeping everybody in prayer in the United States, because it seems like everybody's impacted either directly or they know somebody. And so with the Women's Vitalizer, which is that strip I talked about earlier, for every box of Women's Vitalizer sold in October 2017, where we are, Shaklee is donating through Shaklee Cares, which is a nonprofit that helps out with natural disaster relief funds for people that are directly impacted, relief workers. So this is directly going, originally when they put this up, it was going to hurricane relief. And now I'd imagine that they're expanding that to the fires in California. That's where Shaklee's home base is too. So they're doing a lot of good with this. But anyways, $5 is being donated for every box of Women's Vitalizer in the month of October. So that could be buying it by itself, or buying it in a pack that you see here. This is my favorite. I share this a lot, especially with women, because this was just a lifesaver to me when my son was born and I was a mess. The Vitalizing Plan is basically you're getting your vitamins, minerals, and protein. Dr. Shaklee always said that's the foundation. You really want that. It's kind of like building your house. You want to have that good foundation before you build on top of it, so everything's very stable. With our health, it's the same way. So as you can see here, tonight's special, you're ordering the Vitalizing Plan, and you can pick and choose your shakes. You don't have to get the women's if you're ordering this for somebody else, but I encourage, since y'all are here for women's health, that you get it for yourself. You get that on auto ship. Now that's flexible to you. You're not locked into that. But you do that tonight, you're going to get free shipping from me if you're in my group, or in a group that's in my group. Free preferred membership if you're not currently a member, and I'll explain what that is. We can have a side conversation just to explain that. It's something new to Shaklee. And I'm sending out free energy samplers. So some of my favorite products, I'll throw in some of that stress relief complex and different things that I talked about tonight that I just love when you do that. Okay, so if you want to take advantage of that, just message me or the person that invited you, and we'll get you set up with that. Okay, so that's our special for you guys that are hanging with us tonight. The last slide is just use, share, build. There's 3 ways why people get involved with Shaklee. And tonight, I showed you some options for women's health that are just really excellent options. If you're looking, you're here. So there's a reason that you were drawn here tonight to listen and learn, and we appreciate you being here. And if you're looking for better health for yourself or somebody in your family, then, perhaps if you're not already, you can become a member in Shaklee or a preferred member. And in doing that, you can have different discounts always available to you, even free shipping available to you, things like that. And we can explain more on that if you're interested in that. And then some people want to share the products because they start to love them and they see the benefits, and it helps to maybe pay for their products or just gives them extra money for, grocery shopping or coffee money or maybe building towards a trip. And then we have the building where some people want to join our team. We have a really great, growing, fun team that we'd love to talk to you more about, where you can earn not only the income, maybe replacing part-time income or full-time income, but also there's other perks that sometimes people are interested in. Shaklee has many incentive trips that they build in, car bonuses, different things like that. So we'd love to share that with you if that's something that you want to learn more about. And with that, I'm going to stop the share and the recording. And if you guys have questions, I'm glad to answer them for you. Do this.